Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. Hi YouTube, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to talk with so many wonderful fans of Descendants and Zombies on how I feel about the product, the current direction of it, because I see a foreseeable future for Descendants and Zombies. And this has everything to do with why I've recorded so many videos about Descendants and Zombies, precisely over 600 videos if I had to be more accurate. I do it because I know how much Descendants and Zombies means to each and every one of you, and that's why there's something for every fan of Descendants and Zombies across the archives of this YouTube channel across the board. Because I know everybody feels differently about Descendants and Zombies. There are many reasons why you're a fan of Descendants and Zombies. So because of that, it is my honor to talk about Descendants and Zombies, to break it down, review it, analyze it, because I've been referred to as a Descendants analyst. The reason why I've been referred to as a Descendants analyst is because I can talk about it unlike anybody else ever could. I can show the appreciation for people like Kylie Cantrell, Malia Baker, Ruby Rose Turner, and go on to give them the benefit of the doubt time and time again to make sure they feel more encouraged and to know that they are doing right by each and every one of you. Because they are doing a immaculate job in bringing Descendants and Zombies to life for each and every single person who ever believed in it from the very beginning. Because you think back to what Descendants and Zombies was. It was a group of stars who just wanted an opportunity to shine brighter than ever before. It was an unbelievable opportunity for people like Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, Cameron Boyce to shine. And they took full advantage of this opportunity. And ever since then, their stars have never shined brighter than ever before, especially the star of Cameron Boyce, who will never ever be forgotten. God rest his soul. I remember all these pivotal moments that we experienced as Descendants and Zombies fans. And through everything, we cried together, we laughed together, we shared in each other's stories and experiences that made us fans of Descendants and Zombies. What we remember most from being fans of Descendants and Zombies in our experiences. And that's what gave me the greatest honor of my life, because I not only got the opportunity to talk about Descendants and Zombies and meet so many wonderful fans, I got to understand each and every one of you for how you felt about being a Descendants and Zombies fan, and I got to experience firsthand what it was like to be a Descendants and Zombies fan, and for that, I just want to say thank you so much. Because I love Kylie Cantrell so much. I will never deny that. From the very first episode of Hello Kylie on YouTube, I fell in love with the show. She was reviewing a show that I was a big fan of, Sam and Cat, and that wasn't yesterday. Sam and Cat only got 35 episodes in just one season, but because of the lack of chemistry between Ariana Grande and Jeanette McCurdy, a miscommunication, if anything, the series was canceled long before its time. And I think that because the series was canceled long before its time, it attracted more fans than ever before. One of those fans, inspired by Hello Kitty, was Kylie Cantrell. Kylie Cantrell did a phenomenal job reviewing everything that she was reviewing at the time on YouTube because she just wanted to be noticed. She just wanted the opportunity to become a star. And she had that opportunity because of each and every one of you. Kylie Cantrell not only just wanted to become a star, she just wanted to sing and dance on YouTube. She had everything that a star required to be something special, to really stand out amongst a crowd. And Kylie Cantrell was given that opportunity. She may have had to wait on that opportunity to come knocking at her door from Disney and Nickelodeon, but when it finally happened, it was more evident than ever before that it was meant to happen for Kylie Cantrell. The outpouring of love and support that things like her YouTube channel have received, all the opportunities we saw her be a part of because of Nickelodeon and Disney were incredible. She was on Gabby Dearn and the Unsittables, Raven's Home, Bizaardvark, High School Musical, the series, which eventually became Descendants. And Descendants really allowed Kylie Cantrell to really come into her own. Because after having the torch unofficially passed from Sophia Carson and Dove Cameron and Cameron Boyce to Kylie Cantrell, she really took advantage of this opportunity, and she made the most of this opportunity. And this is why I would have always loved to have worked behind the scenes with Descendants and Zombies, because in order to produce Descendants and Zombies, you've got to have a greater understanding about what the fan wants to get out of most of their experience for being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and you've really got to understand how they feel. And nobody wants to hear criticism directed towards their favorite stars all the time, which has been consistent when it comes to people like Kylie and Ruby and Dove and Sophia and Cameron for forever. I say this because I saw them come from out of nowhere and go from nothing into superstars overnight. They achieved superstardom literally overnight because they believed in Descendants and Zombies as a musical, as a story, as a backdrop, as a storyboard. Everything was phenomenal. And I think that because everything was phenomenal with an undeniable amount of love and support coming from fans, Descendants and Zombies exploded. I remember these conventions where people like Kali and Ruby thought that probably 200 people would show up. And they would go to these conventions and 500 to 1,000 people would show up every single time. And it just went to show just how far Descendants and Zombies had gone to touch the hearts of so many wonderful people. I think that everybody who ever was a fan of Descendants and Zombies has a reason for being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, as a favorite character and a favorite moment that made them a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and I've got a lot of them. The very first moment we were introduced to the cast of the original Descendants during the song Rotten to the Core, that opening dance number was a very powerful way to open up the movie, and I think that was the first moment we were introduced to characters like Mel and Evie, and of course Carlos, who will never ever be forgotten, who went on to achieve so much accolades because of Descendants of Zombies, and so much recognition, because more people than ever before knew who these characters were, and most importantly, they were characters that you could identify with, that you felt special because of, and you felt like you were part of a moment that was forever going to be a part of history. Because let me put it to you this way. Regardless of how critics have chosen to feel about Descendants of Zombies, which is purposely just to get reactions out of each and every one of you, Descendants was meant to be historical. Descendants was meant to be a part of history, and history that's never ever going to be forgotten. Because I can tell you from first-hand experience that no matter what happens to me or where I go from here and what opportunities present itself to me over the course of my lifetime, I will never ever forget the profound impact that Descendants of Zombies has had on my life. It changed my life in so many unbelievable ways. It made me a better person. It makes me think differently. It makes me present my content differently. And I have each and every one of you to thank because of that. Because when you go back 10 years ago, flashback to 10 years ago, what was I doing? I was playing PlayStation 5 in my room. That's all I was doing. Probably PlayStation 4 because PlayStation 5 hadn't even been released. I think PlayStation 5 may have been released in 2020, but yeah, you can say PlayStation 4. So I didn't really have a whole lot going on. And all I wanted as a radio show host and a YouTuber at that specific time in my life was to be accepted by a niche for how I felt about characters that represented that niche. And how I felt from deep within the annals of my heart about a franchise like Descendants of Zombies, because I believed more of a chance deserved to be taken on it than ever before. I will admit to each and every one of you I didn't have a whole lot going on, and I was pretty much a loser, and you guys took a loser overnight and turned him into a phenomenon. Because of each and every one of you, more people know who Jonathan Clarke on YouTube is. And that's just one example that I can use for you about the opportunities that Descendants of Zombies presents for somebody. It's all about how you seize opportunities and how you make dreams become a reality. And I know sometimes for a lot of people, dreams seem that much further away from you than ever before. But if you actually take time to put it into perspective and really figure things out, dreams are that much closer to you than ever before. It's all about you reaching up and grabbing that proverbial brass ring and how you want to make the most out of every dream that you have. Like, I know that a lot of my dreams consisted of me wanting to be a YouTuber, wanting to be heard and seen by more people than ever before, and it seemed very far-fetched. I mean, years ago, my parents weren't very supportive of me wanting to launch a radio program, or a YouTube channel out of their basement. But I had the opportunity to do it because of each and every one of you, because of how you responded to everything that I talked about, from video games to TV shows to movies. It was just an incredible experience for me. And no matter what happens to me, I will never forget the profound impact that all of these stars went on to have in my heart, because it was just so phenomenal. I'll be honest with each and every one of you. From the very first moment that I saw Kylie Cantrell in 2024 as a part of the Descendants cast, and had seen her before that previously, I knew she had something special. Do I think that she deserved all the criticism that she was faced with, having to wake up every single day to? No, I didn't. I remember one specific interview that she did for the Zach Sang show. That was a couple of years ago, and she was so worried about things she was saying in the interview, things she was discussing, because she didn't want to get a call from Disney management and get fired. I don't think she should have ever had to admit to that, because people were asking her questions about the future of Descendants, her career, everything she had happening for her, because she had a lot going on. I think she's been under a lot of pressure. I think that with characters like Descendants characters comes a lot of pressure and a lot of expectations that you have to live up to, a certain criteria. One thing that I've always wanted to do, along with fire every member of the social media department, because Disney always has everything approved before anything gets posted to social media, is alleviate the pressure off the shoulders of these stars, because they don't deserve to be under the pressure they are under. They don't deserve to be backed into these proverbial corners, which there never seems to be any way out of. I have seen not only them become very frustrated with how they have to present their content and their opinions, I've seen stars left brokenhearted, like Ruby Rose Turner being denied roles. I think that when we see people like Ruby Rose Turner and even Meg Donnelly denied roles for Marvel movies, I think it is really heartbreaking. I say this because I've seen the passion and the dedication that they brought forth for everything they've got going on in their lifetime, how much they want to be a part of something special. And I think because of that, more opportunities need to be presented to them. And how we get more opportunities presented to them, like Broadway musicals, Marvel movies, it's supporting them with an endless amount of unconditional love and support. Because if you haven't already realized that the love and support for Descendants of Zombies is nothing short of phenomenal. It's nothing short of unconditional. Because what unconditional love is, as a definition, it is when you love somebody no matter what's going on around them, no matter what they're surrounded by, and that includes criticism. Because I've always believed that no form of criticism is any nice criticism, and it doesn't belong in any conversation. So if you're going to upload a video about Descendants of Zombies, the least thing you can do is think about that girl watching the video and what she wants to get out of the experience from watching your video. She's watching your video because she believes that you are a Descendants of Zombies fan. So because she believes that you are a Descendants of Zombies fan, I think the thing that needs to happen most is you need to convince everybody why you are a fan of Descendants of Zombies, which is something that I have loved doing so much time and time again. I have loved talking about two characters in particular, and that are Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim's character, Zed Addison, because of how they brought the Zombies franchise to life and because of their story. Their story was beautiful. I say this because their story was unbelievably fantastic, and I think everybody felt as if they were a part of something special because of what Zed and Addison offered to the franchise. Do you think that I want to say goodbye to Zed and Addison being a part of the Zombies franchise and move on from that? No, I don't. Do you think that I wanted to close the book on Zed and Addison's story and forever and always believe that there is so much of a story left to be told? Sure I do. That iconic final kiss where they told each other they loved each other and they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together was phenomenal. I think it was 7 years in the making. It was 7 years well done. But I've never wanted to say goodbye. I've been a fan of so many franchises over the years, and I've never wanted to say goodbye to virtually every single one of them. Because I've been such a big fan of Disney for forever, and I've been forever supportive of what you guys believe in when it comes to Disney. Like this Tuesday, I'll be heading out to see Zootopia. Next Tuesday is going to be a big day for me because Zootopia 2 has a lot of my friends in the movie. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Dwayne Johnson, Shakira. They're all going to be in this movie. And every single time I see a movie brought to life because of animation and what it offers to fans, like Zootopia, it's been 10 years, almost 9.5 years, since the Zootopia movie has dropped. I think about how much heart and how much dedication goes into bringing a character to life, how you can sit behind a microphone and you can bring a character to life by just simply changing your voice. Like saying, "Oh my!" kind of thing. I've loved to be able to do that, and that's why I've studied it for forever. I have this unique ability to change my voice in so many ways. And I do it because I like to have fun. And I've always wanted to be a part of something that would allow me the opportunity to have fun, like be a vampire slayer in the Zombies franchise. Because I think it would be the funniest Zombies movie that you would ever see in your life. And I give you my word, if that would ever happen for me, I would never let you down. I would take the role seriously, but I would also think about each and every one of you and what you wanted to get the most out of watching Zombies 5 or 6. I think that by Zombies 5 or 6, if you threw a vampire slayer into it, and had him encounter things like Dracula, like I've always wanted to do. To be honest with each and every one of you, I always wanted to kick the butt of Dracula because he's been so revered, and there have been over 200 adaptations of Dracula seen over the course of the last 100 years, since at least 1950. So I really believe that if I had the opportunity to have a role in the Zombies movie, I think it would be one of the funniest and it would be one of the best that you would ever see. And I give you my word, I would never ever let you down. Either that, or I've seriously thought about throwing my name into the running for President of the United States. And that has everything to do with how Kylie Cantrell has been made to feel. Kylie Cantrell really breaks my heart sometimes with how she feels because it's unnecessary. Kylie Cantrell is doing a phenomenal job. And every single time I see tears in her eyes, a video with tears in her eyes, I just want to let her know that everything is going to be okay. So too, I want to beg Dolly to know that everything is going to be okay. Which is why when I heard that she's going to be performing as part of the Macy's Day Parade this year in the United States, I was intrigued by it. And I was so proud of her because she's come such a long way. And if there ever was somebody so deserving of an opportunity, it's definitely got to be Meg Donnelly. I think that these stars have inspired me in so many ways to create videos. I'm uploading videos for the first time in 7.5 years because of the stars of Descendants of Zombies. and I've never ever wanted any of them to forget just how special they are. And I would like to believe that this is why these videos that I upload are far from different from every other video that's ever been uploaded about Descendants of Zombies, because there's a certain pride and a passion that goes with talking about Descendants of Zombies every single time that you do. Because if you don't possess that pride and that passion that comes with talking about Descendants of Zombies, then nothing will ever be accomplished, nothing will ever be achieved. When you upload a video about Descendants of Zombies, you've got to make people understand why you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies. Simply just saying that you love Descendants of Zombies in a 12-minute video for YouTube doesn't really tell me enough about you. It doesn't leave me intrigued for your next video. I've seen so many people try to upload videos about Descendants of Zombies that have never made any sense to me to begin with, and I think that if you're going to upload a video about Descendants of Zombies, you've really got to speak from your heart. You don't really have to prepare anything for 15 minutes of a video time. All you got to do is just speak from your heart and do everything with an open heart and an open mind and no expectations. Because when you have no expectations for what you're about to say in a video and push record, I think it makes the video that extra special. I know I may have gone as far as to move into a house near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode at any given moment and talk about zombie apocalypses all the time on this YouTube channel. But to be honest with each and every one of you, I've had so much fun doing it, and I've loved being a part of it because of each and every one of you and what you guys have offered to this franchise, because you have offered so much. You've offered inspiration, you've given them more reason than ever before to create, and they've taken full advantage of it because of each and every one of you. Because of each and every one of you, things like the Worlds Collide Tour happened. It became a reality. Things like Freya Sky going on tour have happened. And I'm really excited about it for people like Freya because they deserve it. And because I've been a fan of Freya ever since the very beginning because of each and every one of you. You guys introduced me to these stars. You encouraged me to talk about them. You told me everything was going to be fine. And that's why we're where we are today, because of each and every one of you, for the love and support that you've shown this YouTube channel, which is nothing short of phenomenal. And I have each and every one of you to thank for that. And I can never seem to put into words how appreciative I am of every single person who has ever taken a chance on me when you really didn't have to. Because there are so many people who upload the most creative videos about Descendants of Zombies. I will tell you that. But there are more people who upload videos about Descendants of Zombies who have never made any sense to begin with. So because they've never made any sense to begin with, I think that they've had their purpose of ever uploading a video about Descendants of Zombies defeated from the very beginning. When you upload a video about Descendants of Zombies, you've not only got to talk about Descendants of Zombies, you've got to tell people how you feel about Descendants of Zombies, and you've got to make them feel as if they were part of something special. And, you know, some way or somehow, I like to believe that I have been able to do that in so many creative and so many innovative ways. Because I think that, yes, stars like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson may have gotten this started for each and every one of us, but Descendants of Zombies as franchises have come such a long way. And that's why everybody's opinion about Descendants of Zombies when it comes to it varies. Because some people love Kylie Cantrell, some people love Dove Cameron, some people feel very differently about Dove Cameron, and her opinion on Disney, how she's desperately tried to leave her Disney past behind her. She's got her obvious reasons, and she's justified for it. I get that. But I think that with these stars leaving their past behind them and choosing to do that because of the death of Cameron Boyce, or how they feel about the future of it, how they believe they told the story and completed it, with the times, so too we have changed with the times, and we have done such a phenomenal job in doing that. And I think the future for these franchises is something deserving to be talked about, and it's something to be very intrigued by and something to be very excited about, because I feel very excited about the future for Descendants of Zombies, because indeed there is one. When we talk about Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker and how much they've evolved, how much they've really come into their own because of Descendants of Zombies, how they've discovered their place in the world, which is emphatic. Because it's so emphatic, that's what makes it so special, because we don't know what's coming next. And a title like Descendants 5 with Wonderland presents a more innovative plot than ever before, and one to be really excited about. I see a foreseeable future for Descendants of Zombies, and that's why I've recorded up to 600 plus videos about Descendants of Zombies and had no regrets. Because I not only got to talk about Descendants of Zombies, I got to share my stories with each and every one of you. And in the final moments I have on this podcast this morning, my second podcast is just after 10:53 a.m., I would just like to say thank you so much for all the love and support that you've shown this YouTube channel. This is going to be a big weekend for this YouTube channel. We have so much to discuss about the release dates of Zombies 5 and Descendants 5 with Wonderland, because it's really hard to believe, yes, that we still have a year to go before Descendants 5 with Wonderland and Zombies 5 drops. But by the time it does drop, I think it's going to be more meaningful, and it's going to be worth it being a fan of Descendants of Zombies for this long when it finally happens. And I think that people need to really understand the greater appreciation and the value that comes with talking about Descendants and Zombies, and until they do, they're going to be unable to upload videos about Descendants and Zombies that actually showcase it for its true potential and its true meaning, because we still do have a long way to go, even with how far we have already come. And we've made it together because we've shared in this experience together. We've laughed, we've cried together, we've shared in our stories that have made us fans of Descendants and Zombies, why we felt inspired, and that's what makes it so special and worth it every single time. I've been on YouTube for over 25 years, and you guys have made it all worth it for me, and I have this to say to each and every one of you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, because I have no idea where I'd be in the world today if not for your love and support. So keep on hitting that like button, keep on smashing the subscribe button, and ring my bell to stay up to date with notifications for everything happening on this YouTube channel, because you're not going to miss any of the action happening on the unofficial Descendants and Zombies podcast. This has been the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will be back with one final video between now and sunset this evening. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and believing in Descendants and Zombies as much as what you have over the last 10 years. What a decade this has been. A decade I will never, ever forget. Thank you so much for having watched this video.